Imagine waking up to stunning mountain views, charming streets lined with colorful homes, and the feeling of community around every corner. What if you could live in a place where nature and city life blend perfectly? Canada is home to some of the most picturesque and inviting towns, and in today's video, we're diving into the top 10 that make this country a dream destination. From coastal escapes to peaceful mountain retreats, these towns are waiting to be discovered. Which one would you choose to call home? Let's find out. Number 10. Lunenburg, Nova Scotia. Alright, close your eyes and imagine this. You're standing in a town where every building is painted in bright, cheerful colors, the salty ocean breeze fills the air, and the sound of seagulls echoes as fishing boats sway gently in the harbor. Welcome to Lunenburg, Nova Scotia, a town so picturesque and full of life that it has earned a UNESCO World Heritage status. But this isn't just some tourist attraction. It's a real place where people actually live. And trust me, they love it here. Lunenburg has a population of about 2,200 people, which means it's small enough for neighbors to know each other, but big enough to have everything you need. The cost of living? Surprisingly affordable compared to other scenic coastal towns in Canada. You can rent a one-bedroom apartment for as low as $900 per month, and if you're looking to buy a home, prices range from $300,000 to $600,000. A steal considering you're getting oceanfront views. Now, the economy here is pretty interesting. Lunenburg was built on shipbuilding, fishing, and trade, and even today, the seafood industry is thriving. The town is home to one of the largest fish processing plants in Atlantic Canada, meaning fresh lobster, scallops, and haddock are just part of daily life here. And speaking of seafood, if you ever visit, don't miss out on Lunenburg's famous fish cakes. They've been made the same way for over 200 years. But let's be real. What truly makes Lunenburg special is its stunning waterfront. This place is home to the Bluenose 2, a replica of the original Bluenose, the legendary racing schooner you see on Canada's dime. Yes, the 10-cent coin. Every year, thousands of visitors come here just to see it sail. And if you move here, that could be your everyday view. And if you're worried about modern conveniences, don't be. Lunenburg has fiber optic internet, making it a perfect place for remote workers who want to trade their city apartment for a house with a view of the Atlantic. So, if you're looking for a town that feels like stepping into a historical painting, but with all the comforts of modern life, Lunenburg might just be your perfect match. Number 9. Nelson, British Columbia. Now, let's shift gears and head west to Nelson, British Columbia, a town so unique that it's often called the hippie capital of Canada. But don't let that nickname fool you. Nelson isn't just for free spirits and artists. It's also a dream location for adventure seekers, young professionals, and retirees alike. Nelson is located in the stunning Selkirk Mountains, right on the shores of Kootenay Lake, and has a population of about 11,000 people. It's known for its absolutely breathtaking landscapes, Victorian-era buildings, and a vibe that's both laid-back and full of energy. Imagine a town where yoga studios, independent coffee shops, and art galleries are just as common as hiking trails and ski slopes. Sounds like a dream, right? Now, let's talk real estate. The average home price in Nelson is around $650,000, which might sound high, but considering you're getting a house surrounded by nature, it's totally worth it. Rent for a one-bedroom apartment ranges from $1,200 to $1,800, depending on how close you are to the downtown core. But what truly makes Nelson special is its culture and lifestyle. This town has over 350 heritage buildings, and it's often referred to as the Queen City because of its well-preserved architecture. The people here are big on sustainability, local businesses thrive, and there's a huge focus on community living. Now, if you're into outdoor activities, Nelson is literally a playground. In the summer, you can go hiking, mountain biking, kayaking, or paddleboarding on Kootenay Lake. And when winter rolls around, you've got Whitewater Ski Resort, one of the best powder skiing destinations in North America, just 20 minutes away. The job market? Surprisingly strong. Nelson is known for having one of the highest rates of self-employment in Canada, meaning a lot of people here run their own businesses or work remotely. If you're looking for work in technology, tourism, arts, or wellness industries, this town is a goldmine of opportunities. Oh, and let's not forget about the food scene. Nelson has more restaurants per capita than San Francisco. Yes, you heard that right. Whether you're craving fresh farm-to-table dishes, vegan delights, or gourmet poutine, Nelson has something to satisfy every foodie. So, if you're looking for a town where you can live a stress-free, nature-filled, creative lifestyle with a strong sense of community, Nelson might just be your perfect match. Number 8. Mahone Bay, Nova Scotia. Welcome to Mahone Bay, Nova Scotia, a small town that's famous for its storybook charm, coastal beauty, and those 3 iconic churches that line the shore. You've probably seen them in a postcard. Mahone Bay is home to just 1,100 residents, which means this is the kind of town where you actually know your neighbors by name. But don't be fooled by its small size. This place is packed with history, culture, and some of the friendliest people you'll ever meet. The town was founded in 1754 and has been a fishing and shipbuilding hub for centuries, which is why the local architecture has that beautiful old-world charm. Now, let's talk cost of living. Surprisingly, living here is still affordable compared to other waterfront towns. You can find cozy homes starting at $350,000, while larger properties with ocean views go for $600,000 and up. Renting is also reasonable, with a 1-bedroom apartment costing around $900 to $1,200 per month. And if you're into that remote work lifestyle, don't worry. High-speed fiber optic internet is available so you can work with a view of the Atlantic Ocean. But let's get into the real magic of Mahone Bay, the lifestyle. This town is known for its festivals and community spirit. Every year, the Scarecrow Festival takes over the town with over 250 life-size scarecrows, turning it into something straight out of a fantasy film. Then there's the Mahone Bay Wooden Boat Festival, where you can see handcrafted boats, sailing competitions, and even try your hand at knot tying. And don't even get me started on the food scene. From cozy cafes serving homemade pastries to seafood restaurants offering freshly caught lobster and scallops, this town is a foodie's paradise. Plus, there are plenty of artisan shops, art galleries, and even a famous Christmas market that brings in thousands of visitors each year. So, if you're looking for a town that's as peaceful as it is beautiful, with rich history, warm people, and endless ocean views, Mahone Bay is one of the best-kept secrets in Canada. Number 7. Stratford, Ontario, a place where art, culture, and small-town charm blend perfectly. Welcome to Stratford, Ontario. This town is famous for its world-renowned Shakespeare Festival, stunning parks, and quaint European-style streets. And fun fact, Justin Bieber grew up here, so if you move to Stratford, you're technically neighbors with one of the biggest pop stars in the world. Stratford has a population of about 33,000 people, making it larger than some of the other towns on this list, but it still has that small-town warmth. The best part? It's just 90 minutes from Toronto, so if you ever crave the big city hustle, it's just a short drive away. Now, let's talk cost of living. Stratford is actually one of the more affordable towns in Ontario. The average home price sits around $550,000, while renting a 1-bedroom apartment will cost you about $1,500 per month. And because it's not as crowded as Toronto or Ottawa, you actually get more space for your money. But let's be real. The best thing about Stratford is its art and culture scene. Every year, the Stratford Festival attracts over 500,000 visitors, making it one of the biggest theater festivals in North America. If you're into live performances, this is literally the best town in Canada to live in. And if theater isn't your thing, don't worry. Stratford has tons of outdoor activities. The town is built around the Avon River, where you can take gondola rides, kayak, or just enjoy a picnic by the water. There are 30 kilometers of walking trails, beautifully maintained gardens, and even a swan parade every spring, where dozens of swans are released into the river in one of the most unique traditions you'll ever see. Foodies, you're in luck too. Stratford has some of the best restaurants in Ontario, many of which serve farm-to-table dishes using ingredients from local farms. The town even has a chocolate trail, where you can sample handcrafted chocolates from different shops. Yes, an actual chocolate trail. So if you're looking for a place with big city arts and culture but small-town warmth and affordability, Stratford is the perfect town to call home. Number 6. Canmore, Alberta. Now, let's head to the Canadian Rockies, where every single morning feels like waking up in a postcard. Welcome to Canmore, Alberta, a town so breathtaking that it's hard to believe it's real. If you've ever dreamed of living in a town surrounded by mountains, crystal clear lakes, and endless outdoor adventures, this might just be the place for you. Canmore has a population of about 15,000 people, but don't be fooled. This town is one of the most popular places for expats, retirees, and nature lovers. It's located just 5 minutes from Banff National Park and an hour from Calgary, making it the perfect spot for people who want nature and city access. Now, let's talk real estate. Canmore isn't cheap, but it's worth every penny. The average home price is around $1.1 million, and renting a one-bedroom apartment will cost you about $2,200 per month. Why so pricey? Because this is one of the most sought-after mountain towns in Canada, and once people move here, they never want to leave. The lifestyle in Canmore is all about adventure. In the summer, you've got hiking, mountain biking, kayaking, and rock climbing. In the winter, world-class skiing, snowboarding, and even dog sledding. There are over 1,000 kilometers of hiking trails in the area. And trust me, you'll never run out of places to explore. And despite being a nature town, Canmore isn't short on luxury and entertainment. There are craft breweries, art galleries, fine dining restaurants, and even a world-class Nordic center where Olympic athletes train. So, if you're looking for a town where every day feels like an adventure, the views are out of this world, and the air is as fresh as it gets, Canmore is calling your name. Number 5. St. Andrews, New Brunswick. Welcome to St. Andrews, New Brunswick, also known as St. Andrews by the Sea. A town so beautiful it was designated as a National Historic Site of Canada. This town has a small, cozy population of just 1,800 residents, making it the ultimate escape for those who love peace, nature, and small-town friendliness. But don't let its size fool you. St. Andrews is packed with things to do. Let's talk real estate. Homes in St. Andrews are surprisingly affordable for a waterfront town. The average home price sits around $400,000, while high-end oceanfront properties can go for $1.5 million. If you're renting, a one-bedroom apartment costs about $1,100 per month, way cheaper than big cities like Vancouver or Toronto. But what truly makes St. Andrews special is its coastal charm and history. This town was founded in 1783, and many of its buildings date back to the 18th and 19th centuries, giving it a unique old-world feel. Walking down Water Street feels like stepping into a different era, with colorful Victorian homes, cute boutiques, and cozy cafes lining the waterfront. And if you love wildlife and outdoor adventures, this is paradise. St. Andrews is one of the best places in Canada for whale watching. You can spot humpback whales, minke whales, and even the rare North Atlantic right whale right off the coast. There's also Minister's Island, a one-of-a-kind spot you can only access during low tide by driving across the ocean floor. Food lovers will adore this town too. Being a seaside community, the seafood here is unbelievably fresh. Imagine lobster rolls, scallops, and Atlantic salmon straight from the ocean to your plate. And don't forget the Algonquin Resort, a luxury hotel dating back to 1889, where celebrities and even royalty have stayed. With its affordable cost of living, breathtaking nature, and historic charm, St. Andrews is one of Canada's most underrated places to live. If you dream of living in a town where you can watch the sunset over the Atlantic every evening, this is it. Number 4. Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario. If you've ever dreamed of living in a postcard, let me introduce you to Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario, a town that's so picturesque it feels almost too perfect to be real. Known for its stunning vineyards, historic buildings, and charming flower-lined streets, this is one of the most beautiful places in Canada. The town has a population of about 18,000 people, making it the perfect balance of small-town peace and lively community vibes. It's located just 20 minutes from Niagara Falls and 90 minutes from Toronto, so you get the best of both worlds. Quaint charm with easy access to big city amenities. Now, let's talk about the housing market. Niagara-on-the-Lake is one of Ontario's pricier small towns, thanks to its luxury appeal. The average home price sits around $1.1 million, while smaller properties can go for $700,000 to $900,000. Renting isn't cheap either. A one-bedroom apartment averages $2,000 per month. But trust me, you're paying for pure charm and elegance. What truly makes this town special is its wineries. There are over 40 wineries in the region, and it's known as the best place in the world for ice wine, a rare sweet wine made from frozen grapes. If you love wine, this is the place to be. Imagine spending your weekend sipping world-class wines at a vineyard with views of rolling hills. Beyond the wine scene, the town is packed with culture and history. It was one of the key battlegrounds in the War of 1812, and you can still visit Fort George, a perfectly preserved military fort. The town is also famous for the Shaw Festival, a world-class theater event that brings in over 250,000 visitors each year. And don't forget the food scene. Niagara-on-the-Lake is home to some of the best fine dining restaurants in Canada. From farm-to-table cuisine to charming tea houses, this town is a food lover's paradise. If you want to live in a place where every day feels like a fairy tale, Niagara-on-the-Lake is hands down one of the best towns in Canada. Number 3. Tofino, British Columbia. Now, let's head to the West Coast, where the Pacific Ocean meets rugged rainforests, wild beaches, and endless adventure. Welcome to Tofino, British Columbia, one of Canada's most magical and unique towns. Tofino is home to just 2,500 permanent residents, but don't let that number fool you. This town is world famous for its surfing, whale watching, and breathtaking scenery. It's located on Vancouver Island, and getting here requires a ferry ride or a small plane, making it feel like a hidden paradise. Now, let's talk real estate. Tofino isn't cheap, and that's because everyone wants to live here. The average home price is around $1.4 million, with luxury oceanfront homes going for $3 million or more. Renting isn't easy either. There's a high demand for rental properties, and a one-bedroom apartment costs around $2,500 per month. But for those who can afford it, the lifestyle here is unlike anywhere else. Tofino is known as Canada's surf capital. It's home to some of the best surfing spots in North America, including the famous Cox Bay and Chesterman Beach. Even if you're not a surfer, there are tons of outdoor adventures. You can go kayaking with sea otters, hike through old-growth rainforests, or take a boat to see gray whales and orcas up close. One of the best things about Tofino is its laid-back, artistic vibe. The town is filled with local artists, musicians, and eco-conscious entrepreneurs, creating a community that's both welcoming and incredibly creative. You'll find unique art galleries, handcrafted goods, and some of the best seafood restaurants on the planet. Speaking of food, let's talk about Tacofino. This legendary taco spot started as a food truck in Tofino and became so popular that it expanded to multiple locations across Canada. But nothing beats grabbing a fish taco and eating it with an ocean view in the place where it all began. If you're looking for a relaxed beach town lifestyle with mind-blowing natural beauty, Tofino is one of Canada's greatest treasures. Number 2. Victoria by the Sea, Prince Edward Island. Welcome to Victoria by the Sea, Prince Edward Island, one of Canada's best-kept secrets and easily one of the most beautiful places to live. With a population of just 200 people, this place is the definition of small-town charm. But despite its tiny size, it has a big personality. Located right on the south shore of Prince Edward Island, about 30 minutes from Charlottetown, Victoria by the Sea is the perfect place for people who want to escape city life and live by the ocean. Let's talk real estate. Because this town is still relatively undiscovered, housing here is shockingly affordable. The average home price sits around $350,000, making it one of the most budget-friendly seaside towns in Canada. Rent is also reasonable. A one-bedroom apartment can cost as little as $900 per month. Now, what makes this town so special? First, its stunning scenery. Picture rolling green hills, dramatic red cliffs, and crystal-clear ocean views everywhere you look. It's the kind of place that looks like a painting, no matter what time of year you visit. But this isn't just a pretty place. It's also a hub for artists, food lovers, and adventure seekers. Victoria by the Sea is known for its art galleries, local theater performances, and artisan shops, making it feel like a creative paradise. The famous Victoria Playhouse, a charming little theater, hosts incredible live performances throughout the summer, attracting visitors from all over Canada. And then there's the seafood. Oh, the seafood. PEI is famous for its lobsters, mussels, and oysters, and Victoria by the Sea is home to some of the best seafood restaurants on the island. If you love ocean-to-table dining, you're in for a treat. For outdoor lovers, this place is pure magic. You can go sea kayaking, paddleboarding, or cycling along the scenic coastal roads. The beaches here have the softest sand and the warmest waters north of Florida. Yes, you heard that right. In the summer, ocean temperatures reach 22 degrees Celsius, 72 degrees Fahrenheit, making it one of the best swimming spots in Canada. Living in Victoria by the Sea is like stepping into a storybook. It's quiet, peaceful, and breathtakingly beautiful, making it the perfect place for those who want a slower, more meaningful life by the ocean. Number 1. Old Quebec City, Quebec. Now, let's talk about the crown jewel of Canada. A place so magical, so breathtakingly beautiful, that it feels like you've stepped into a European fairy tale. Welcome to Old Quebec City, the most charming and historically rich town in the country. With a population of around 540,000, Quebec City is a vibrant, lively city. But Old Quebec, the historic district, feels like a completely different world. It's the only walled city in North America, and its cobblestone streets, centuries-old buildings, and grand castles make it feel more like Paris or Prague than Canada. Let's talk cost of living. Quebec City is surprisingly affordable for such a beautiful place. The average home price in the Old Town area is around $600,000, while rent for a one-bedroom apartment is about $1,500 per month. Compared to cities like Toronto and Vancouver, that's a bargain, especially considering you're living in one of the most historic and picturesque places in North America. So, what makes Old Quebec so special? First, its history. Founded in 1608, this town has over 400 years of fascinating stories. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site filled with fortresses, old churches, and grand hotels that have been standing for centuries. Walking through Old Quebec feels like time traveling to 18th century France, with horse-drawn carriages, ancient stone buildings, and charming cafes at every corner. And then there's Chateau Frontenac. This is the most photographed hotel in the world, and it looks like a castle straight out of a Disney movie. You don't have to stay there to enjoy it. Just walking around the area is enough to make your jaw drop. If you love food, culture, and festivals, Old Quebec is heaven. The city is famous for its French cuisine, with cozy bistros serving buttery croissants, rich poutine, and world-class wine. There's also the legendary Quebec Winter Carnival, one of the biggest winter festivals on the planet, featuring ice castles, giant parades, and outdoor dance parties in sub-zero temperatures. And let's not forget the outdoor beauty. Even though it's a city, Quebec is surrounded by stunning nature. The Montmorency Falls, which are 30 meters, 98 feet, taller than Niagara Falls, are just a short drive away. In the winter, the entire city transforms into a snowy wonderland, making it one of the most magical places to experience Christmas. Old Quebec City is unlike anywhere else in North America. It's the perfect blend of history, beauty, and European charm, making it the #1 most beautiful and charming place to live in Canada.